Hello, hello everyone. Cami Baker of CamiBaker.com here. I want to welcome you to this webinar on cause marketing. Make money while making a difference. What the heck is cause marketing anyway? Well, I'm going to explain to you how I look at cause marketing, as I find that most people have a totally different view of it, or there's a lot of different ways of looking at it. And before I get into the cause marketing and how you as an entrepreneur, a business owner, a business savvy mover and shaker visionary in the world can actually partner your passion and your purpose with your profession and your profit. Before I get into that, I just want to share with you a little bit about myself and why I feel like I'm qualified to teach this subject. This is my book, Mingle to Millions, The Art and Science of Building Business Relationships and Mastering Referrals. And it's actually the second edition because I did add a chapter on cause marketing this go around, and it is on page 107. So whether you're watching this webinar live now or whether you're watching a recording of it, you can feel free to reach out to me and get a free copy of my book, the PDF version. I'm happy to send that over via email or Facebook. I like to say I'm real, I'm raw, I'm relatable, and I'm reachable. And for you as a business owner, you might want to be that way too. It's so funny to me when I see LinkedIn's or Facebook's or different things that have blocked, or you go to somebody's website and there's no phone number. Guys, put it all out there. All of my stuff is out there, and don't worry. People hardly ever call because they're afraid of the phone. But reach out to me and let me know if you would like a copy of the book. I'd love for you to read the chapter on cause marketing. And when I get into the slides in a minute, you'll see a lot of the same photos that I have in the book, but I'm going to give you a history of how this all got started for me. So as I'm getting into how I got into cause marketing, I think it's really important to share with the audience, whether it's one-on-one or live interaction or virtual interaction, that the people watching can really relate to the person that is talking to them. I'm going to guess if you are watching this webinar on cause marketing and how to make money while you're making a difference, that you are already an entrepreneur or a business owner, and that you are more than likely already established. You already have a sales force, or you yourself are already your sales force and out making money and making a difference in many different ways. But this is a way to take it to another level. So about 18 years ago, I moved from the South, from one part of the country to the Northeast. I didn't know anyone. I came to New England because I had a 6-month-old baby, and the relationship I was in, he was from that area of the country. And there were, the grass is always greener on the other side. So I came to New England and I didn't know anyone. And I actually had an alcohol problem. And I share that because I hear a lot of times people say, well, I don't know anybody, or I don't know how to network, or you don't understand, I'm a single mother, or I've got this issue or that issue. So when I talk about my alcohol problem, the reason I share that is because if I can do this, anyone can do it. I came to a part of the country where I didn't know anyone. I had this baggage. I had a small baby that within a few months of me being in New England, I was now a single parent. And I was needing to get out and reestablish myself as a person, as a mother, as a business person, spiritually, emotionally, physically, etc. So 18 years ago, first thing I did was I sobered up. I put the bottle down, but then it was time to start picking up new playgrounds and playmates, as I like to say. One of the best things we can do for ourselves is to take notice of who are we hanging around with, how are they influencing us, and how can we fix that? Whenever I get interviewed on podcasts and radios and TV, one of the questions that comes up a lot is, Cami, if you had a piece of advice that you could give someone that they, to really bring their business to the next level, or step into who they want to be, or take action to become a more enhanced person, I always say, change your playgrounds and your playmates, even if that means changing what you're listening to on the radio. What are you watching on YouTube, on TV? What are you reading? What is catching your attention on Facebook? Any way that we are having input into our head. So the first thing I did was that I changed who I was hanging out with. And you can read in my book a little bit more about the details of that if you like, but fast forward a little bit, and I ended up working at a real estate company. And at first I was an employee. I was the head broker's assistant, which was a beautiful thing because they didn't drink, and I was around people that didn't drink, and I started to realize that there was a whole different way of living. So I was at this real estate company, and within about a year and a half, I got licensed as a real estate broker, but I didn't really know anybody yet. I didn't have a big center of influence. I didn't know how to get out and meet people necessarily. I mean, I've been an entrepreneur since I was 8 years old. I was buying gum and selling it to other kids for a profit when I was 8. And then I was loaning money to my brother who was always broke, and I was taking collateral and I was interest, like I was loan sharking at 9 years old. Then I had a bar restaurant in Florida when I was 23 years old. I had this huge bar right on Panama City Beach. So I had been a business owner, and I've always understood guerrilla marketing and how to get out there. So when I needed to meet people, here's what happened. And you'll see some of this in the slides in a minute of how this whole thing came to be. I had one big commission check, and I bought a 64.5 Mustang convertible. It was my dream car. I had it up on the vision board. I just really blew my whole wad on this car, and the people in my office teased me. Ford, found on road dead. Don't you know that thing is going to be a money pit? And they teased me relentlessly. But here's the deal. I saw the vision. I said, you don't understand. Everyone from 6 years old to 60 loves that car. They love antique cars. They will look at it. And I had my name all over the side of it, CamiBaker.com and Remax. So I had an assistant at the time, and I had her calling around to see where were antique car shows and parades that we could put this car in and me and market the business. So the first year that I had the car, I must have been in, I don't know, 9 parades and car shows. But one of the places we called when we asked if they had a car show, they said, well, no, we don't, but we'd like to. Would you like to sponsor it? And I said, yes, I would. So I started sponsoring this car show. In the first year, with just me driving around in the car, shaking hands and kissing babies, I got 50 cars there. And as they were pulling up, they were trying to pay 20 bucks a piece to be in the car show. I was ignorant. I was naive. I didn't really know what to do. I was just faking it till I made it. And my assistant said, all these people are trying to give us money. Why aren't we taking their money? Well, we didn't have a system for that. And I said, well, I'm not doing the car show to make a couple $100. I was doing it to promote my business. And so she said, well, maybe we should take their money. And I got thinking about it. And the next year I had asked someone, who is a good cause? Where's a good, organization, a worthy cause that I could give the money to? And they told me about a place called the Live and Let Live Farm in Concord, New Hampshire, in that area. So the next year it was antique car show with the proceeds going to the Live and Let Live Farm. And this time, all the money that we raised was going to the Live and Let Live Farm. And so I was promoting it a little bit differently. When I would walk into businesses or talk about it or call past clients, etc., I'd say, hey, we're doing this car show. The proceeds go to the Live and Let Live Farm. We're looking for cars. We're looking for car lovers. We're looking for people who want to support the Live and Let Live Farm. We're looking for people who want to have a booth, etc. And this gave me a whole different perspective, because people would say, oh, I love the Live and Let Live Farm. My church volunteers there. My uncle rescued a horse from there. Oh, that place is awesome. I've been there before. So it was a whole different paradigm. So for 7 years in a row, I was doing that antique car show. And I have to be really honest, because I'm real, raw, and relatable, I have to tell you that it was all from ego. I was building my business. I wanted to be seen. I figured out that by having a cause involved, I could get the media there. Not from me placing an ad for a few $100s. Nobody cares about an ad and a coupon, but from having stories and media. And people wanted to be a part of it because it was giving back, etc. So I moved from that part of the country to New York City. And while I was in New York City, the company that I was affiliated with at the time loved the Ronald McDonald House. And so once again, from ego and from needing to network and build a business, I contacted the Ronald McDonald House. I said, hey, I'd love to be a contribution to your cause. And instead of just walking in as somebody writing a check or volunteering at an event, I actually came with a different posture, a different packaging, a different positioning, as I like to call it. And I actually said, hey, I can put on an event for you. And they said, well, what kind? And so for me, it was car show. Let's do a car show, because I had been doing them. Because I had Ronald McDonald, the Ronald McDonald House in my back pocket, and they were my partners, if you will, we ended up having a car show at the most beautiful, brand new baseball diamond, big enclosed stadium. It was gorgeous. And our cell phones back then, this was maybe 8 years ago at the time of this recording, didn't have as much good video. So I wish I had video of that to show you, but that was Ronald McDonald House. And we did a few more things with them, and you'll see that in the pictures in a minute. So I did a few more things, Make-A-Wish Foundation, and different organizations that I work with. So about 4 years ago, I had started going through some personal growth, spirituality, finding myself, not being so much of a shark. If you read my book, you'll see where I talk about skunks and squirrels and sharks and spiders. And I graduated from shark to spider. You have to read the book to understand that. But the point is that I started hanging out with more visionary, more heart-centered, more thought leader kind of people. And what I noticed was a lot of these folks wanted to be a contribution. They were passionate about different causes and purposes, but they were either waiting until they had enough money and time to give back to that cause and wanted to build their business and then give back, or they were so passionate and on fire that they were using all of their resources and relationships and revenue to give back to this cause, but their business was suffering and they weren't in the flow of their business as much as they could have been. So I realized, wait a minute, I've been doing that. I've been supporting a cause and using it in my business to market my business and myself together. Since I've been doing that naturally, I can help other people to do that too. So let me start sharing the screen, and I'll get into how this whole thing works, how you can use these different causes and affiliations and passions of yours to market yourself and your business in a win-win-win for everyone. So let's share the screen. So here we are with Cami Baker Experience. Mingle to Millions. Make money while making a difference. Cause marketing. When I talk about this, people hear it differently. And it can mean a lot of different things, but let me give you my definition of what cause marketing is. A cause is an organization, a group, or cause that you are passionate about. Marketing, in this definition, is the art of attracting clients. So marketing means something different to every business owner. However, just imagine if you, instead of just writing a check, if you're writing a check, that's awesome. You're a philanthropist and you're donating money. If you show up at the soup kitchen and help give out food, that's awesome. You're a volunteer. However, when we take those efforts that we are putting the efforts, the resources, the relationships, etc., into how we can use it as a way to attract more clients, be seen differently in the community, pull our sales force together, have a way to talk to our past clients, our current clients, our future clients, and we're going to get into all that with more slides. That is what I'm talking about with cause marketing. So cause marketing is partnering and pairing your passion and purpose with your profession and profit. I'm all about the alliterations, and anybody that works with me, I always come up with great alliterations for them too. It's kind of funny. I had a mentor that was spot on with that. And I was like, wow, I want to be able to do that. And about a year later, I started popping them out. So once again, who are your playgrounds and playmates? Hang out with the people that have what you want. So here I am, CamiBaker.com in the 64.5 Mustang. Used to call her Scoop. You can't see it because it's behind me in the picture, but there was a scoop in the hood of the car. And so I called her Scoop. I was on HGTV and all that stuff because I understood how to mingle my way to millions, how to actually take action and make things happen. So this is one of the car shows that I did. Now you're going to see a few photos of different car shows, and they all look like the same one because they were all at the same venue, but you'll see me in different clothes, so we'll be able to see that they are in fact different venues. Oh, it was so beautiful. I get goosebumps just looking at that. All these cars were just spectacular. And at the time, I didn't have a panoramic lens to get the whole circle, but they were all in this big, beautiful circle. That one out in the center was from AMCO, and they were one of the sponsors. So this was a different year than the one that you just saw me standing by my car. This is yet another year. So it looks like the same thing, but you can see I'm wearing something different. I'm positioned a little bit differently. My banner's in a different place. The reason I want to show you all these is because it was a consistent thing for 7 years. And every year they got bigger and bigger. And the reason for that was it wasn't Cami Baker walking around with a business card, you know, asking for business or asking people for referrals. When I was able to call my past center of influence, so for you as an entrepreneur or business owner, or as a business owner with a sales force, your people, we all have 100 to 10,000 past clients, center of influence, current clients. Nobody wants to make that icky, gross call. Hey, it's Cami Baker. You bought a car from, or bought a house from me 2 years ago. Who do you know that wants to buy or sell? You don't want to make the call. They don't want to receive it. When I had my car show, I could call people and say, hey, we're doing the car show again this year. Just wondering, who do you know that's got a car? You know, who do you know that would like to put up a booth? Mary Kay, a car place, any of those types of things. So it was fun and engaging conversation. And here's what I'll share with you. When I made those calls, a huge percentage of the time, somewhere in it, 5 or 10 minutes into the call, it always came back to, hey, how's the market? So business was done because I was able to call people about something that wasn't an icky, gross sales call. This is the Live and Let Live farm. So the lady on the left is Teresa. She is the person who runs the Live and Let Live farm, or did at the time. I actually need to reach out to her now that I'm doing this presentation. I need to let her know that I'm promoting her big time. But notice, this was actually a different year, got on different clothes, and she came out with her banner. And she would also, here's the fun thing about cause marketing. Whichever cause you partner up with, they will get involved when you position it the right way. I talk a lot about it's not just who we talk to, it's what we say and how we say it. So I help my clients with that too. I give them templates, if you will, scripts, if you will, not word for word verbatim, but the mindset and the tonality and the body language and just the mindset of understanding the psychology of how we talk to people. So when I was working with Teresa, she would let her people know, and when she would come out, because they were the Live and Let Live farm, and they had all these horses, but they also had other animals. At the time, she had a donkey that was sweet as pie, and it was just as tame as it could be. It walked around the Live and Let Live farm without a leash or without being in a fence. It was just there kind of like a dog. And she would bring that thing with her to the car shows. This made the kids happy. The media loved it. The car people loved it. And guess who was the ringleader in the middle of all that? That's right, yours truly. So it was all good stuff for PR for me, for showing the community that I was giving back, for getting people involved with working with Cami Baker, not as a boring real estate agent. And I say that respectfully to all my real estate agent friends, but everybody knows 8 or 10 realtors. You want to get their attention, you've got to be different. Now this is that same year. You can see what I'm wearing, but notice how I'm giving out trophies, and you know, I got the microphone there. There were lots of opportunities for me to position and posture myself to have these photos made so that they could be put out to the media in a certain specific kind of way. Now this is a whole different event. This is another RE/MAX office that I worked with. This gentleman I'm giving a check to, he worked with the Make-A-Wish Foundation. So once again, having a cause, a purpose that we are passionate about, and having it as a reason to give back and market ourselves. People will say, well, you know, I don't want to toot my own horn. I want to be anonymous. I don't want people to think that I'm bragging. Guys, this is not about bragging. This is about letting people know what you're doing. So for example, in this particular event, you know, we had come together. I was doing volunteering as a blackjack dealer and raising money for them. And so when I'm giving them the check is a lot larger because of promoting the event. And I'll get into a little bit more of that in just a minute. This one, and believe me, it wasn't all when I was a real estate agent with RE/MAX, but you see the RE/MAX sign in the background. Notice how I positioned myself with the sign always, or the you know, all that, live and let live farm, etc. Now, if you don't know this gentleman, this was the governor of our great state of New Hampshire at the time, Governor Lynch. So what this was, and notice the positioning. There's a camera guy in the background. It shows that the media was there. That makes me look good. That shows credibility. I'm with the governor. I'm with the TV station. The other lady there is a well-known real estate agent at the time. This was about 15 years ago at the time of this recording. Now, in this particular instance, that was my listing. It was a mobile home in the background. And the person who bought the mobile home was using government funding. It was a special program at the time, really specific to people who were really, really in need of housing. It was no closing cost, 100% financing, et cetera, et cetera. Now, real estate agents do those all the time, but are they smart enough to use that cause as a way to market themselves and their business, not to toot their own horn, but to educate the public? Hey, listen, this is available. This is something that you too can use. If you don't have down payment, your credit's bad, that's okay. We can help you. So it's about positioning and using what we've got to help people, to bring awareness. In this case, is bring awareness to this particular financing program, bring awareness to the Live and Let Live Farm, bring awareness to the Make-A-Wish Foundation, etc. And at the same time, marketing myself. The one on the left, the short one, is my little peanut, my beanie bear. That's Haley. Haley and her best friend at the time, Carissa. Now, the reason this is in there is because these t-shirts they have on, Life is a Beach, is yet another cause marketing that I did. And this gives us a little bit different perspective, a couple of perspectives. So, are you wanting to get your family involved in your business? Are you wanting to get the family involved in getting back? Wouldn't it be great to partner up your passion, your profit, and your parenting all at the same time so that your family is included in what you're doing? So this particular day, I had brought the RE/MAX hot air balloon to a Boys and Girls Club event. Now, you can't bring the hot air balloon to the beach, but because of that, I built a relationship with the Boys and Girls Club, and we had, about 30 kids. You'll see a picture in a minute of all the kids that came on this event with us out to the beach. Now, in order to put this together, look at all these kids. Everybody's wearing the same shirt. Those beach balls, they all have a beach bag with them that's full of sand pails and toys and different things like that. We provided lunch. Guys, this gave me a reason and a way to actually talk to the title companies and the mortgage companies. And there was, on the back of this shirt, there were about 12 different logos, CamiBaker.com right in the middle of them, but all these other logos, Wells Fargo, well-known other entities, that if I hadn't had something with purpose and passion to partner with them about, they wouldn't have been as interested. So this is a way to also build relationships with other businesses in your area as well. This was at the Boys and Girls Club. I actually brought the hot air balloon to 2 different events in my area. But the thing is that RE/MAX has this hot air balloon, and any real estate agent can use it. They just don't, because it takes effort. This is about putting forth effort, but it's so much fun. It's so much different than, you know, mailing flyers or begging for business from people that aren't looking to buy or sell real estate. I would get the hot air balloon, but the only way to get the hot air balloon was to guarantee RE/MAX that when they put forth the effort and the finance and the resources, etc., that you could guarantee them that there would be media there. So I would always guarantee them, and they always would show up, guys, because it wasn't just a real estate agent doing an open house. This was a local business person, AKA Cami Baker, who was bringing forth bringing forth all the boys and girls at the Boys and Girls Club at their summer camp. And we had vendors at this event where they were doing face painting. And I had a karate dojo come and do a demonstration, and a dance troupe, et cetera, et cetera. Guess what? As business owners, Don't we want to do business with other business owners in the area? Don't we want to talk to the movers and shakers in the community? What a great way to be able to do that by putting something together. Now understand, you don't have to do a car show. You don't have to do these big, huge events. You could do something as simple as a coat drive with a box in the office, or a glasses drive for the Lions Club with just a little shoebox up on your counter. Or you can just take up donations. It doesn't matter. When I'm working with a client, it is so specific to them and what they want to do. These are just visuals of how big this can be and how much credibility, how much you can be seen, be heard, and be the authority in your marketplace. Ronald McDonald, you'll notice the car in the background is a Ferrari. We were at the Ferrari dealership. This is myself and other people that I was working with, and of course, Ronald McDonald. So once again, cause marketing. How awesome for me to be able to be affiliated, not only with the Ronald McDonald House, but when we pooled our resources, they were doing a brunch, a networking event at the Ferrari dealership just outside of New York City. For me to be able to talk to people with that kind of posture and credibility, hey, we're doing this event, it's at the Ferrari dealership, it was on a Sunday morning, there was at least 100 of the most beautiful red and yellow and bright colored Ferraris, $200,000 to $500,000 cars outside. Talk about leveling up your networking and how you're being seen and showing up in the marketplace. Woo-hoo! And I could tell you another story about this, but you're going to have to watch some of my videos and come out to some of my events and get involved in some of my programs to hear some of these stories. But as you can see, this is great posturing. Once again, look at the poo nut on the far left side. That is the little girl that you saw in the photo before. Life's a beach when she was 5 or 6. Now in this photo, she's 15. So here we are actually outside of Six Flags in the New Jersey marketplace, doing another event with the Ronald McDonald House. Now, once again, you don't have to be out doing all these big events. Notice though, this is over, a 12, 15-year period here. So a nice big event once a year that you are partnered with all these other people. I did not do this full time. Like, it was fun for me. It was, a little effort here, a little effort there, but there was a lot of other people in the works because Ronald McDonald House had their own brigade of volunteers, etc. What it did for me though was it gave me the credibility, it gave me the foot in the door to be able to talk to people. It helped Ronald McDonald raise money. It raised awareness for Ronald McDonald. It raised awareness for Cami Baker. It's a win-win-win for everyone. And I was playing with my family at the same time. How you doing? Now, fast forward even more. This is just about 2 years ago at the time that I did this recording. So now I'm in a place of helping other people, right? You do it, you learn how to do it, then you teach other people to do it. And when they learn how to do it, they can go help other people do it. And you step out. So that's me on the left. The woman in the middle was with a group called Hope Dove Organization. The Hope Dove Organization is in Lowell, Massachusetts. They help battered women, homeless folks. They feed children. They had a huge, thousands, a big pile of toys at Christmas time that Toys for Tots donated to them that they could disperse out into their community. They would bring together food to put on pallets to ship overseas to other Brazilian and Latin American countries and things that needed the help. So a friend of mine, Robert Santiago, who I knew from Latinos on the Move, I love to say that, Latinos on the Move, he said, hey, Cami, this group that I know needs to be seen. They need recognition. They need to raise more money and awareness, et cetera, et cetera. You are perfect for this. There's a little bit of a language barrier, but don't worry, I'm going to be there to help out. And I went in and I coached them up on doing an antique car show. So this was at Regatta Field in Lowell, Mass. We called it the Lowell Cares Car Show. Proceeds going to the Hope Dove organization. And the gentleman on the far right is the mayor of that city. Now, when they were putting together this event, he's given us here a citation, thanking us for our efforts in the city. The woman before was actually doing a TV interview with a microphone. This lady on the right was also part of the Hope Dove organization. So notice how it's such a win-win-win. My client is getting the notice that now this is a little bit different because I was actually working with the organization to put together a car show. A little bit different dynamic, but it's all still the same thing. They were raising money, they were raising awareness. The community came out to support them. They had something different to talk about as opposed to, hey, can you spot us a 50? We need some money. It was something more fun and engaging. And the mayor came out and they were supposed to get the big poppy. If you're not from Boston, you don't know who that is necessarily, but he was a huge, huge baseball star at the time. He did not make it out, but when we thought that he was, it gave us something fun to talk about. And there's the person ringleading the whole thing, always ready to take a selfie or get in front of the camera because you want to position yourself. All right, this was just 3 months ago at the time of this recording. You'll notice in the bottom right-hand corner, the side of the truck shows the name of the business. So there I am taking a picture with the owner of the business name, and what's going on. Cause marketing, getting behind a cause that is so important and using it as a way to position yourself as a community leader. So this particular person was bringing coats, getting a whole truckload of coats and blankets and mittens and things to bring down to the homeless people in this community. This was in Washington State. And notice in the bottom left corner, when we got there, the people just attacked the truck. They needed the blankets and things so badly. This particular person dumped the coats out, laid the box down, and she crawled inside to get warm. And I was so moved by it that I took a picture of it. And I'm sharing this with you because here's the deal. There were only so many coats that we personally could pull together. But when we let our clients, our past clients, the people that were part of his business know that we were doing this, other people showed up that day with a trunk load of more blankets. There was a woman that brought hand knitted mittens and scarves and things that she brought about 50 pair that during the year she would hand knit these things, and she brought them down. So if we had just gathered up some coats and brought them down, yes, we would have helped some people and we would have felt good. But because we use the cause as a way to market our business and let people know, not, hey, look at what we're doing, we're great, but more like, hey, look at what we're doing and you can be a part of it too. And do you have any extra coats? Is there anything that you want to donate? We want you to be able to feel really good for being a contribution too. This was really, really important. And notice that in the top left corner, the business owner is helping this guy. He's bringing it over and he's helping him bungee it onto the back of his bike. And the guy was so grateful. He posed for a photo. He didn't, it wasn't about ego here. It was about thank you for helping me and my friends. It was just a wonderful day. Cause marketing. Now this brings me to today. The gentleman on the left is John Morton. He is a client of mine. We started working together last year. John and I had met at a self-development class about 10 years prior, and we had watched each other on Facebook. We weren't good friends. We didn't stay in contact a lot, but he was watching the things that I was doing. As you can see, I was a real estate agent. I transitioned from real estate agent into network marketing, which is why I was in New York City and different places. And then I transitioned from network marketing into Mingle to Millions and my own brand and my own way of doing it and not being behind somebody else's logo, etc. So when John saw me doing all this, he actually contacted me. He came to one of my networking events, saw me speak, and then he said, Cami, I want you to help me do what you've done. I want to be seen. I want to be heard. I want to be the authority in my industry. I want to be the event. I want to do what you've done, be able to have people look at me differently. I want to be able to talk to people differently, etc. So I said, well, John, what are you passionate about? And he said, well, I'm a veteran, so I'm passionate about helping veterans. And I also have rescue animals. I love the animals, and I'd love to do something with both of them. So as we started talking, I explained to him how he could partner up both of these beautiful organizations or different groups of people and animals together. And I said, you can either create your own mission and movement, or you can actually find a group that already exists, and there's pros and cons to both, and I work through that with my clients individually or in groups. He chose this group called Hero Pups. Now, what you'll notice is he is standing there very proudly with the woman, Laura Barker, who is the original creator of Hero Pups. But it wasn't just about reaching out and saying, hey, I want to volunteer. Once again, it's not just who you talk to, it's what you say and how you say it. This part is super, super important, very strategic, and something that the average person wouldn't know to do without a little bit of coaching, just like I didn't know how to do a lot of things before I got coaching. So you'll see that they are standing in front of the Rotary sign behind them. John was speaking at the Rotary. So here's what happened. As John got involved with them, started doing different things with food drives. And then this picture was taken just, as a matter of fact, I've got on the same cross. This picture was taken just a couple of weeks ago. You'll notice on the side of John's truck, it says media representative. Hoo-wah. See, now he is partnering his cause with his marketing. He has a way to get his foot in the door to talk to people about the fact that he is the media representative for Hero Pups. And we do many different things with that. But the point of the matter is he is now being seen, being heard in a different way in his marketplace. This is, one of the many things that I do with my clients for cause marketing. Hero Pups is now one of the organizations that I give back to when I'm out doing speaking engagements. So I'll give a percentage of the proceeds for my speaking fee. If I'm selling books, I'll give 25% of the book sales to Hero Pups because I want to support them. I had someone just yesterday ask me, well, Cami, what is your cause? What is it that you're giving? What are you passionate about? And I said, you know what? My cause is helping all of these different people to partner and position and package and present themselves in such a way that their causes are being recognized. In other words, when I first wrote my book, Mingle to Millions, the art and science of building business relationships and mastering referrals, the title at the time to me was Mingle My Way to Millions of Dollars. But I realize now that is not what it is. It is me mingling with a handful of people that then are mingling with hundreds or thousands or tens of thousands with their organizations and causes. Cause marketing isn't everything that I do, but it's a big chunk of it because I keep attracting beautiful people like yourself. You wouldn't be watching this webinar if you weren't interested in helping other people. And if you weren't business savvy enough to say, you know what? Mama still got to eat, bills still got to get paid, stuff, things still got to be taken care of, but that's okay. We can partner all of this up and have a win-win-win together. So right now, a lot of my proceeds that I donate go straight to Hero Pups, and clients that I work with, when I can get behind their cause, I let the people know about it on my social media, my email blast, et cetera, et cetera. So cause marketing gives you an infinite amount of ways to develop the resources, relationships, and revenue that rock, as I like to say. And here are 5 of them just to give you an example. So number 1, as you can see, it is a fun, exciting way to interact with your past, your current, your future clients. Nobody wants to make that icky, gross sales call to people. We avoid it like the plague. We don't want to make it. We'll make a couple of them. We pray that they don't answer the phone. We hang up, etc. And the people that we're making that call to don't really want to receive it either. But now we've got a fun and engaging way to interact with people. Number 2, never give another boring 30-second elevator pitch again. When I'm doing one of these events, when I'm at an event, or I'm in line at Dunkin' Donuts, or I'm at the kids' soccer game, or whatever it is, when people say, hey, what do you do? I can say, I'm so glad you asked me that, because I'm promoting an antique car show for the Live and Let Live farm. And I'm looking for antique car lovers and people that want to get back to the farm, blah, 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 blah. And people always want to talk about that. It resonates with them. And if it doesn't resonate with them, that's okay. But it gives me something different. It gives me a place to build rapport and bridge the humanity gap. Number 3, recruit more salespeople, teammates, and board members. See, when you've got something like this that you can put out there, imagine, if you will, you're a business owner and you were wanting to have more salespeople. Who are the top 5 or 10 in your area that you would like to recruit onto your team and contact them. Let them know that you're doing this. Let them know that you'd love for them to be a part of it. They want to do business and be a part of a team that does things like that. Teammates. When I was in network marketing, I recruited personally 131 people. I had a team of 10,000, personally recruited 131, and I'll bet half of them came because I was doing things like this, and it gave me a way to be seen and be received and be heard in the marketplace in a different way. Number 4, create contribution culture in your company, personal brand and market presence. When you've got a team of people in your company, I'm working with a woman right now that has a team that works in her shop. When we start talking about doing things like this, it brings people together. It makes the people in your company come together for a common cause. It shows you and your brand when you're out on the move, out meeting people. They start to recognize you as being a contribution, as that person who's giving back, as that person who's not salesy and pushy and always talking about themselves and their product and their business and their contract. You're talking about something else. And I'm telling you, there's a big difference when someone says to you at an event, what do you do? What do you do? What do you do? We hear it all the time. When they say that, they're really not that interested. But when you start talking about these causes and these things that you're doing, and then they, 5 or 10 minutes into the conversation, they say to you, so what is it that you do anyway? See, now they're really interested. Now they care. And notice what it says about market presence. Starkist Tuna, 1990, on their cans of tuna started putting dolphin safe. The market in general was willing to pay 5 cents more for Starkist tuna because they were behind a cause. They were not killing dolphins. They were part of the Greenpeace movement. People knew when they bought the tuna with that can, even if it was 5 cents more, they would pay more because they wanted to be a contribution. They wanted to feel good about the company they were doing business with. And it's the same thing for you out in your marketplace. Number 5, be the contribution you've always wanted to be. John Morton gave me this because anytime you coach with somebody, you get as much out of it as they do. He said to me, you know what, Cami, when I started working with you, I wanted to be seen different. I wanted to be a leader. I wanted people to want to do business with me, et cetera, et cetera. He said, I didn't count on really getting behind being a contribution. He said, it makes me feel so good. It gives me purpose. He said, he is now writing a book called Who Rescued Who? Because he's got those rescue animals. And now that we are partnering his passion of the rescue animals and the veterans with his business, and now that it's so much a part of his life, he realizes that maybe he wasn't the one that rescued those animals. Maybe those animals rescued him because they have been such a big part in this whole orchestration of what's going on. So he says he wants other people to feel as good about being the contribution as he does. So it gives you a way to be a contribution, to feel your purpose and your power and your presence on this planet. So that's just one other reason. So cause marketing requires strategy. It is not just writing a check or doing an event. I am not an event planner. I am not a social media expert. I'm not a marketing expert. I'm not a branding expert. But here's what I am. I am a brilliant business networking strategist. How do you strategize all these different things and take components of all of those things I just mentioned and roll them into a big, beautiful ball called cause marketing or called be seen, be heard, be the event. And don't, like I said, don't worry. You don't have to do huge events. You don't have to be wanting to get on stages and speak, but you can. And I help with that too. I can help you get in TV and different media. I can help you get on stages to speak about your cause or any of those other things. Or if you want to be more reserved and a little bit more quiet and just be a contribution to something in a much more quiet way, that's okay too. However, it is who we are being. It is how we are being received by other people. So no matter how big or how small you want this to be, I can help you. Remember, networking wastes time with random activities. People show up at a networking event a little bit late. They spray those cards everywhere like a skunk and they repel people. They grab a whole bunch of cards and they squirrel them away and never do anything with them. They go through the room networking like a shark. Dun, 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 dun. Who's going to buy my product? Dun, 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 dun. You want to join my business? Dun, 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 dun. I got a contract. You want to sign it? So let's not go out with random activity. Let's learn how to NetWeb. It leverages time through planned strategy. When we NetWeb, we are becoming the spider. And no matter what your vision of the spider is, I'm getting ready to fix that, because when a spider is strategic, she knows where her web should go. She gets in that corner of the window or up in the branches of the tree. She knows where to place her web, and then she makes connections all in the right places, and the connections intertwine as she introduces the connections in the way that she is building her web. And when she has that net web, she now can sit back and wait for that which she wants to come to her. So we don't want to be a skunk or a shark or a squirrel. We want to be more of a spider. And when we are doing cause marketing, it is a beautiful, powerful way for us to do that. So if you're wanting to make money while making a difference, you can set up a 30-minute strategy session with me so that I can see if you qualify. Because here's the deal. Unlike other people who do webinars and have all these group programs and all these ways of giving a hard sell to people, frankly, I don't want people in any of my groups. Let me just stop out of this screen share and get right back with you guys. So I don't want anybody in my group programs or in one, God forbid, in one-on-one that aren't absolutely committed to being a contribution while they're making money, while they are spinning this big net web, wanting to help each other out, etc. So if this is appealing to you, if it's making your heart race a little bit and you're thinking, wow, yeah, that sounds really good. I like to volunteer. I don't mind writing a check, but I'm not like, there's some strategy going on here, or I wish I had the money and resources to be able to write a check. Guys, we can partner it all together, but it takes strategy. And that's where I come in. Call me a business networking strategist. Call me a repositioning personal branding expert, whatever it is. Mingle to Millions, the art and science of building business relationships and mastering referrals, can take on many different forms. But when you put in the component of cause marketing, ooh boy, that is yummy and delicious. So I invite you, because I am real, raw, relatable, and reachable, to send me an email, to send me a text, to send me a Facebook message, to contact me on LinkedIn, send a carrier pigeon or a smoke signal, because I am easy to find and easy to reach. And if you qualify to be in any of my programs, whether you're looking to make a couple of $100 investment or whether you're willing, ready, and able to make a couple of $1,000 investment, there is something for you here. It just depends on how much you want to take it on, how serious you are about making it happen, Captain, in the next 3 to 6 months, as opposed to 6 to 10 years trying to figure it out. So I look forward to getting on the phone with you, or seeing you at one of my live events, or speaking to your group live or virtually as soon as you are ready, willing, and able to make that happen. So I'm going to end our webinar now. Feel free to share this with other people that you know that are visionary, that are heart-centered, that are forward-thinking thought leaders who understand it is not just about making money. It is not just about giving back. It's about doing both together. One of the books that I read a while back, a long time ago actually, was T. Harv Eker, Secrets of the Millionaire Mind. And he talks about the difference between a poor person's mentality and a rich person's mentality. Whatever that means to you. Don't have any judgment about rich and poor. It could be rich in spirit, whatever that means to you. But he said, poor people think in either or. Well, if I had my choice of being a good person or being rich, I would choose being a good person. He said, rich people think all-inclusively. Well, because there is rich and there is being a good person, when I am both, look at all the good that I can do. When I have more resources and relationships, look at how many more people I can help. Rich mentality is have it all. be a good person and make money. They're not, what's the word? They're not exclusive of one another. They can be together. And the people that resonate with me understand that. They want to be rich and good at the same time. If that's you, reach out to me and let's have a conversation. I look forward to seeing you soon. Take care.